Hello everyone. Hi. I have a headache right now, but I'm just gonna do a video because I need to get a little talk. I want to talk about my last relationship. I want to talk about my sex and love addiction. I hate going back there all the time, but it's in doing that I don't want to go back there, if you know what I mean. I don't want to live that stuff again. I really don't. When you're out of withdrawal, you really, trust me, you do not want to go back. But while you're wanting to go back all the time, that means you're still in withdrawal. Because it's talk about withdrawal a bit. I was just trying to explain it. It's not easy. Like, I've got my Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous big book here, and the withdrawal section in that is absolutely lifesaver. It's amazing. Talks about what you can go through and different things, and yeah, it's really good. Part of that, but I just want to talk about mine because it was pretty much unbearable. And in my opinion, journaling is part of your recovery. It's part of getting through stuff. It might be a couple of times a day. You might have to write things down, especially in the night, just before you go to bed, or not straight before you go to bed, so that you're not, you don't want to get all stirred up and stuff like that. You need to be able to sleep. Just, when you become ready, when you get to the point where you say, I'm over this, I'm done with this pain, I'm sick of, whatever it is. Like, just say, for instance, with me, I was sick of being with this guy, and I knew I didn't want to go back to prostitution. I knew that was not going to happen anymore. Even though I, sometimes had a compulsion and a thought to go back. It was because of lack of money. That was the trigger. So, but I had to find ways of not just getting money, but it wasn't about getting money. It was about managing my money that I had. And it was also about not spending anymore, because I was an overspender. I've suffered with that addiction as well. I've had to get on Spenders Anonymous online and learn about that. It really helped me a lot. And just only buy things when you need. You don't need to go out compulsively spending and buying things you don't need. That's part of the addiction of SLAA, actually. When you're doing that, you know that you're not well, because that's part of acting out. For me anyway, in my recovery. Everyone has their own patterns, and judge me, I don't give a shit. I'm here to help people, and I'm here to tell the truth, and a lot of people don't want to hear that, but a lot of people are in the darkness too, like 98% of people, and I don't want to be there. So I'm getting out what I need to help you. I want you to recover, and you might not think that it's worth it. You might not even think you want to give any of this stuff up, but I tell you, I never wanted to keep doing any of this stuff. But what happens is, when the compulsion takes over, you're just stuck in it, and you just want to keep on acting out, and it takes over your whole personality. It takes, this addiction takes hold of every part of your life. It takes hold of your kid's life. If you're married, then you're just going to be secretive behind your wife or husband's back. You're not going to want to tell them anything, trust me, as you well know. The addiction makes you secretive, sneaky, sick, angry, rageful, unaffectionate or overly affectionate. It can make you isolate. It can make you act in ways that you really know that it's kind of weird. But the problem is, you start acting in ways for so long in the SLAA, because you get stuck in it for years and years, that you just don't even know that you're doing it anymore. You're not even aware of what you're doing. You're just living it. You are SLAA. Like, you become a sex and love addict. You become that. And you lose yourself completely. You are not who you are anymore. So, in getting back to the withdrawal, I decided I was dying, and I had to, my anger and my rage was coming out so much, because with love addiction, with most women or men that know, they stay with partners that are abusive because they want love, because they just crave it so much, and they've done no work on themselves, so they don't know how to love themselves. They've obviously got no love whatsoever for himself, and they don't nurture himself, and they expect the partner to do that, and the partner doesn't do that, doesn't do anything to them that they think that they should. Like, we expect way too much from our partners, and and we jump into sexual relationships and don't even know if we like that person, and that's what sex and love addicts do a lot of the time. And we don't just get to know them as friends or date them, or I don't like the word date, but get to know them, and first, before we have sex. Having sex with someone completely wrecks the whole relationship from day one if you do that, because then all you're thinking about is sex with them, and that's a physical, non-intimate thing if you're not in love with someone. And you're not in love when you're just having sex with them. You think you are. It's not love, it's lust, and that's all it is. There's a big difference. Love is a built thing. It's something you build on, you learn about each other, you like or dislike things about each other, and it takes a long time to get to that point. With sex, you're just going to have sex, and then you can end it straight away, or you can keep seeing him for a while because you're getting such a buzz out of it, or a high out of it. And some people also feel when they're doing that stuff that when they're acting out, they're so depressed and they have really bad lows. Like, they have a little high, and then eventually what happens is just like porn addiction too, you get such a high, and drug addiction, that when you have the first one, it's so great and everything, and then after that it gets less appealing the more and more time goes on, and eventually it becomes to the point where you're just in a rage with it, and anger and depression, because you know that it's not right for you. And I'm here to tell you that you can get out of it by doing the SLAA program. I've done it, and I've been through it all, and I've been through hell and back, and I'm still recovering, taking time. I think I'm probably still in withdrawal. I did see him just after Christmas. He contacted me, and also contacted him in November, but because I had what happened in November is I hadn't seen him for like 8 months, I think it was, or something, and that was over and stuff, and I'd moved and all that, and I didn't want to see him because I was working and doing TAFE. I was studying, and it was a really hard course, and also the job that I had was completely ridiculous. I hated it. Really hard work for me, looking after sick, dying people. I couldn't handle it. Just taking it on board. But after that, I got sacked the day that I finished TAFE, and that was in November last year. And the day after, which was a Wednesday, I remember distinctly, I had a compulsion, and I couldn't stop it. Like, I didn't want to stop it because it felt like I had to contact my ex. So I sent him a letter, and I was like trying to ring him and find his email, and I was sending him emails, and just put a letter in his letterbox, and I started stalking around the streets looking for him. I went into a state of desperation. I felt like I needed comforting, like really bad. And when we first were together, I had a lot of comforting from him and that, but it was never enough. Like, no matter how much he gave me comfort, like, it was never enough, and in the end he didn't give me any, and that was unbearable because I had a lot of rejection. He rejected me a lot, and he did that. He went to his drugs and his steroids and his mates and pot, and other girls maybe, and I have no proof of that, but I always felt that he was so secretive that you wouldn't have found out if he had it, because he was really good at hiding stuff. But a woman knows, and I knew that he was with other chicks because he didn't really want sex with me and things like that. But that's beside the point. The whole point was he was a toxic relationship to begin with, and I knew that I was mental when I was with him, guys. Like, I was completely insane, mental, rageful, angry, depressed. I was in pain all the time. I was not happy at all. The only thing that was good about it was the sex that I really liked, and that was it. And like hugs, which, you know, in the end he didn't want to see me much anyway and all that, but I'm not dwelling on that. I'm just glad I got out of the relationship, because I would have died. I would have died from that. So yeah, that was November. I saw him for about 2 days. Slept over one night, and he was completely stoned, right, real bad. And then got away from him again, didn't have any contact until he contacted me and said, oh, that's right, I wrote a text message ending that one in November. Said, don't ever come near me again because I got someone else. Like, I lied. That's how dramatic I was all the time. I was always doing that shit. I was hurting him so much, a lot too, but he was hurting me so much as well. Like, it was toxic, guys. You can't, that is not a loving relationship, and it's not healthy. You cannot, sorry to say it, but you cannot be with someone if it's like that. And it was so jealousy too, like, and suspicion. I was always suspicious of everything, and it was crazy. I was fucking mental when I was with this guy. It went on for years. Please don't make that mistake. Get out if you can, as quick as you can, and get well, because after you get well, you'll realise that you'll be able to find someone else. You won't even want anyone. Like, I don't even want anyone right now. You know, I'm open to it one day, but at the moment you know, this recovery takes a long time. It's not just a straightforward, quick, you know, better in 3 weeks thing. It ain't like that. It takes a long time, you know, for full recovery. I'm sorry to say it, but the withdrawal period can range from 6 months, that's the least, 6 months to a year, and then after that probably another 2 years, which is probably 3 before you're ready for a relationship, if you were really, really sick in a relationship before. Like, it takes a long time to heal from domestic violence, you know. We're not just talking about a love addiction relationship, we're talking about domestic violence and child abuse that was coming up for me, and I've had to deal with that as well, and so I've had to talk about all that stuff, and it's fucking painful. It isn't easy, and that's why people keep acting out in everything, in every addiction. They can't stop, because every time they go to stop, they're in pain. So then, bang, they use again, or they pick up another girl, or they pick up porn, or they pick up fucking a magazine, or chat sites. The whole thing is fake. And you can't do any of that while you're withdrawing. You have to just stop everything. It's the best way to do it. If that's too hard at first, just stop the main ones. I mean, you got to stop all of it, really. But in the book it says you can chip away at some of the obvious ones. It says some of us approach withdrawal gradually chipping away at obvious problem areas. Even marginally success in doing so increases our awareness of other aspects of the addictive pattern that we really hadn't known was there. So, I mean, it increases awareness as you go along, but you need to get to the meetings to learn about the addiction. If you're not learning about it and hearing other people's stories and talking to them and ringing them and all that, then you're not gonna you just are not going to get recovery. Just going to keep on relapsing. And in the end, you're going to be 70 doing it still, in a nursing home doing it. And believe me, you will go mad, because I went mad. I went so crazy and mental from this addiction that I was a Looney Tunes raving lunatic. And no one realises that, what really went on. People in AA I used to tell stuff to every here and there. They really didn't know what was going on, and they just could not get it at all. And don't talk to people that don't get it, because you'll get nowhere. You need to go to SLAA, you need to do the program, you need to do the questions, you need to do the steps, you need to do step 4 and 5. It's a really important step. Once you've done your 30 questions, you go on to the step 4 and write down all your wrongs and what you've done and all your pattern of your sex and love addiction from whenever you can remember it. And it just, the reason you do that is so that you can see your pattern, and it helps to recover. It helps you not to do it anymore, and you just get really healthy. And now the point where I'm at through my withdrawal, which is pretty mild now, just have a little bit of depression and just feel a bit lonely sometimes and that, but it's not unbearable now. When I first started it, withdrawal, it was, the loneliness was really unbearable. It was a horrific feeling that felt so empty, and I knew that I had to feel my feelings, and that's always sharing what was going on as well, getting my feelings out, not bottling it up. You know, I'm not going to talk anymore because I've got a really bad headache, and yeah, it's just, you know, it's just a day at a time, a day at a time, a day at a time. Talk to women. If you're a woman, talk to women all the time about it. SLAA members, other people don't get it. You're talking to a brick wall if you go trying to seek help somewhere else. Even therapists don't get this stuff sometimes. You got to find the right one if you go to a therapist. But I reckon the best therapist is the other SLAA members, for me anyway. But good luck with all that. And you know, when you start feeling the pain of withdrawal, don't be scared. It's going to be okay, and just take it an hour at a time if you can. But when you're going through it, do nurturing yourself. Baths, hot chocolates, you know, eat chocolate. Don't be afraid of eating, like, get into it. When I was slurring, I didn't eat much at all. I couldn't eat when I was in my relationship and working and that. But you will get recovery, and you will not know, you will not believe how good your life will be after you go through the withdrawal and start to feel the undesperateness. Like now I don't feel desperate about getting with any guys or anything like that. Today I had something happen. Some guy looked at me and he kept looking at me, and it triggered me. Like I felt really wanted and like attractive, because I don't normally really feel like that, because I'm still, yeah, it's really hard for me to feel any of that at the moment. But so today I felt a bit triggered by that, and I was like saying to my sister, you know, oh, that guy looked at me like I really like him. And I just, you know, I didn't say that actually. I said, oh, that could be my new boyfriend. Like I was joking around, but really I really liked the attention. And I've always liked the attention of guys. But that doesn't mean you have to just get with them straight away and that, just because they look at you. I mean, that's fine. Just have to be able to handle that stuff, and SLAA teaches you how to. Like, not act on it for a start, because it's just someone looking at you, admiring you. And I looked at him and I was like, I felt him looking at me. But, and in his agency when I was getting my lotto ticket. And that's alright. At the moment I'm writing a couple of books, which is I'm really enjoying, and doing a lot of painting, and you know, you just do nurturing stuff for yourself. You know, just do stuff you really enjoy when you're a kid, or you know, stuff you really love. Try new things too. Get out, try new fun things. And that's what you got to drown yourself in, things that you like doing and enjoy. Be careful of other addictions though, it can be a trap, especially spending. Anyway, see you for now. Peace.